in 2 lawmakers trying to work on a solution to all of this. Democratic Congressman from New Jersey, Josh Gottheimer, and New York Republican Congressman Tom Reed, co-chairs of the Problem Solvers Caucus. Josh, to you first. There seems to be plenty of common ground when you hear from Chuck Schumer or Dick Durbin or Lindsey Graham. What exactly is holding things up? Because when I talk to people in the White House, they say there was a deal on Friday, and suddenly there wasn't.
Well, that's what we keep hearing. Obviously, we're not in negotiations over in the Senate side, but we're speaking, of course, to people like Joe Manchin and Susan Collins and others. And what we're hearing is people want to get the government back open. They, of course, we got to address Dreamers and border security, and there's a lot of energy in our caucus to do that. But we think we need to get the government back open, and so we can have that conversation and sit together and work together. This, like going to your respective sides, is not helpful.
But, Josh, you were one of the 6 House Democrats who voted for the CR. How are you going to get your fellow Senate colleagues to follow suit?
Well, you know, I think my job and I think Tom's job and what we did, we got together and a huge group of us in a bipartisan manner of the caucus. And what you're hearing from everybody, Democrats and Republicans, those who voted for it and didn't, is we need to get the government back open, and we've got to solve this problem, and we've got to actually vote on these issues. But you're not going to do it if you're just screaming at each other from the corners and marching to your respective corners. And so I'm hoping today things start to thaw out, and what we're saying to all of our colleagues is let's get back to the table. Let's talk to each other. That's what the people want us to solve the problem.
All right, then, Tom, this seems pretty simple. Democrats want DACA to be fixed, and it's not just Democrats. If you look at the majority of Americans, I'm looking at a poll that Fox News put out, they want this to be fixed, not simply mass deportation. But the president wants this wall and border security. Border security, almost everyone wants. Doesn't it seem like the wall is holding us up here?
No, I don't think it's the wall, but I think first and foremost, when we talk about government shutdown right now, I think American people want 9 million American children who are going to lose their health insurance not to be part of this process at all. And we have an opportunity to fund the government and take 9 million American kids out of the gridlock of Washington, D.C. for 6 years. When you get to the issue of immigration and DACA and the Dreamers and the border security, there's common ground there. That's why the work we've been doing in the Problem Solvers Caucus for months now is starting to bear fruit. We are actually having a substantive dialogue in a culture of trust that we hope will send the message to our leadership and others that you can have these conversations.
But, Tom, it's mischaracterizing all of this to say, well, that Democrats want to deny 9 million American children from health care for illegal immigrants. You and I and Josh all know that's not the case. And when I look at the ads being put out by President Trump's re-election team, painting Dreamers like they're all illegal criminals, you know that's not the case. So if the goal is let's find common ground.
No, Stephanie, I do know that we had a vote before us on the floor of the House and now in the Senate to take for 6 years 9 million children out of the equation. That's the right thing to do. Regardless of how you got there, the vote that was before us, that's what we're called upon to do as representatives. That would have been the right thing to do, and I applaud Josh for doing that, because you don't want to hold government funding hostage in order to negotiate other issues. DACA and border security can be resolved. We're showing you can do it, but you need trust. You need a relationship, and that's what we're developing, and I hope our leadership in these extreme polarizations of our parties on the left and the right come to an end.
No doubt you need to work together. But do you actually believe, do you believe in your heart of hearts that this is a time when one could believe the White House or good faith efforts? I'll tell you, Tom, when I talk to people inside the White House, they say the president went back on his word to Chuck Schumer on Friday. So can you honestly say that this is a time to say, yep, I trust you?
I'm not telling you that our leaderships are not on the left and the right responding to base politics, extremism that is running the country right now. That's what you see with the shutdown. What we represent is a new voice, a voice that says we know what loses in this whole equation, the American people. And now is the time to lead the efforts to get away from extremism and govern responsibly for the American people back home.
Can I just add to that? I think we have to all stop figuring out who we're blaming here and actually get something done. That's what the public wants, and that's what they do in their lives every single day. So we actually should all get into a room together. The leadership get together. The president should be there, and we should figure this out. How to open the government, get services back to people, to veterans, to make sure seniors are taken care of, make sure our defense is strong, and solve the DACA border security issue. That's a false choice, saying one or the other, but we got to get to work. The deadlines are still looming out there. You've got 800,000 young people that, of course, are facing a March deportation. We can't allow Dreamers for that to happen to Dreamers. That is completely counter our values, but we have to do it together, and just screaming at each other is not going to solve the problem.
Gentlemen, here. That is why the good people from the states of New Jersey and New York